Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Just standing in front of my kitchen doors here. We just got some snow squalls. No accumulation, but it's still pretty to look at. Anyway, so today I want to talk to you guys about one bed in particular that we just planted up maybe in October, November. I honestly can't remember. The Thuja Thin Man bed. I called that video, in case you're interested in more privacy, please. We didn't actually create a bed. We just planted the Thuja Thin Man in the grass, and I had mentioned in that video that will come along in the spring or whenever we have time in this coming year to then create a bed around the Thuja Thin Man and add some more plants in there. So come garden with me and let's talk about my plans for that particular location in my garden. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I am just like raring to get out into our garden and start doing things. Unfortunately, right now I can't. So I'm in plan mode again. And I think, you know, I've got most of my plans pretty well laid out. This is one bed in particular that I haven't really planned. I've just kind of thought, oh, well, we have a lot of stuff that needs to be moved from the one bed that I did share with you in my, I believe it was Garden Plans Part 1 video. There are a lot of plants in that particular bed that need to come out, and I really have no idea where I'm going to place them. So I thought maybe we'll use some of them in the Thuja Thin Man bed, and I might, although this is not going to be a big bed, so there's really not going to be a lot of room for a lot of plants, and it is adjacent to our Dry Creek bed, and I'm going to show you what that bed looks like, just to refresh everybody's memories. And since it is right adjacent to the Dry Creek bed, I thought maybe some wet tolerant plants, even though, you know, obviously the Dry Creek bed is dry, I don't know, 80% of the time, 90% of the time. When it is flowing in heavy rain events, it can overflow. So, I think that will keep that soil a little bit moist. So maybe I thought some chokeberries or fizzy mizzy. And it's funny because I was just watching the Proven Winner Color Choice Shrub videos for the 2024 plants of the year. I think it's Proven Winners on Air. I'm not sure. They have their own YouTube channel anyway. You can look it up. And I think the 2024 plant of the year is the Fizzy Mizzy, the Itea Fizzy Mizzy. And I thought about doing several of those, like a huge swathe of those last year. And I think I even did a Garden Plan 2023 video about that for the rain garden berm. And then we did carry them at the nursery that I worked at in 2023. And I don't know if it was just the plants at the nursery just were not pruned well enough to make them look like the Proven Winner website shows those plants looking, or if that's just what they do. So I wasn't 100% impressed with them. I have a feeling they just need a lot of pruning to keep them really tight and upright. So maybe I will try to get some of those plants, source them from a different nursery, maybe even the Proven Winners website. At any rate, that was one idea I had. And then I thought maybe groundhog chokeberry or the Lowscape Mound chokeberry. I did want to try to use some of the plants that we have too, so try and figure this out together. So this is the bed I'm talking about where the 4 Thuja Thin Man are. And we have a 5th one there. We're also going to be creating a small bed around there. Hopefully you can hear me. It's very windy out today. So just wanted to show you where the bed was that I was talking about, just in case you weren't sure or you didn't watch the previous video. Obviously this is on the side of our house adjacent to the Dry Creek bed. And I don't think I'm going to be able to walk up there. It's just very wet out. Don't want to compact the soil, but that bed up there, that's where a lot of stuff needs to come out of. I can zoom in. You can see there's some grasses. The brown grasses are dwarf hamlin grasses. That's Pennisetum. There's 3 fire chief arborvitaes. Smoke bush is the sticks with no leaves, I guess I can say. In the foreground, there's a lace-top elderberry in there. There is, at the very front of the bed, some Walker's Low catmint. Behind those, there is 5 daylilies. And then there are a couple of sedum, Decadence Chocolate Baptisia, 3 Durvilla. What are they? Kodiak Fresh. The Kodiak Fresh can probably stay. They can tolerate a lot of shade, but everything else in there needs more sun. I'm not getting it because of the two large maples. So I just wanted to show you the beds that I'm talking about. The bed where the plants are coming out of, and the bed where we need to put some plants into. So let's go back in the house, talk about what we're going to do. So as usual, I'm showing you my legend, kind of, my drawing in Excel. So right now, here's my legend. So these shrubs here, those are the Thuja. Right now they're in grass, but this will become a mulch bed. This gray area here represents the dry creek bed. The green area up top here represents the grass. So, like I said, this is going to become a mulched bed. It's going to attach to the bed, the existing bed to the left that has the purple pillar roses of Sharon. It will attach to the bed here that has the flamethrower redbud, which will then attach to the fifth Thuja Thin Man further down the dry creek bed here. But for now, this is the area that I'm talking about. So, like I said, we have a lot of stuff up in that other bed that needs to come out. We have Baptisia, there's Fire Chief arborvitaes, there are some dwarf hamlin grasses. So I might try to use some of those in here. At first I thought I wanted to use the Fire Chief arborvitae just for more evergreen interest, but Fire Chief arborvitaes in time get 3 to 4 feet tall and wide, and I don't know that I have enough room here for something that's going to get 4 feet wide. And they're not especially water tolerant, so not sure that's something that would be good to use here. So my feeling is I moved the dwarf fountain grasses here, and I only have 5 of them, so I would have to get a 6th one. I mean, I guess it would be okay, but I would prefer to have an even amount on either side. I don't think it really matters that much. But the green shrubs in here are where I'm thinking either put the Fizzy Mizzy Sweet Spire or the Chokeberry. So let's see if I can pull this over here. Now we've already talked about the Fizzy Mizzy or the low scape mound chokeberry because I talked about that in a previous video for the revision of Inside the Fence garden plans. You know what they look like, but they really are low. They stay low, 12, I think it's 12 to 24 inches tall. Uh, yeah, well, yeah, 1 to 2 feet tall, 18 inches to 24 inches wide. They are full sun to mostly sun. Now, this bed is definitely going to get full sun, even once those arborvitaes grow up. The sun, especially in summer, like spring, summer, is definitely going to be coming from the front of the bed there, so I think they'll be fine. They have a little bit of fall color, although, again, that's not really what I'm looking for. Just something that is going to stay low and be able to tolerate the wet soil there. So that's that. Let's see if I can bring the Fizzy Mizzy over there. So this is what they look like. A little bit different than your typical Itea in that most Iteas weep. These ones stand straight up. These I think are, again, they're a 3x3. So a little bit smaller than the Fire Chief arborvitaes. These are full sun to full shade tolerant, which is great. Now they're not going to be as floriferous or as dense if they're planted in full shade, which that area is not going to get, so we're fine there. But they really do have these pretty little white flowers, and both the chokeberry and the Fizzy Mizzy Itea are very wet site tolerant. I think we all know what fountain grass looks like, but I'm going to pull that over here too, just so you can see. So this is what the dwarf fountain grasses look like, 2x2. Really pretty grass, great movement. They have these little bunny tail flowers. So I really think those would look pretty over here. I've had those for several years. Originally, they were on our top retaining wall in between the chokeberries up there, but then the chokeberries got too big and these plants just did not get enough sun. Clearly, they're not getting enough sun in the bed that they're located in right now because those two maples just keep getting bigger and bigger. But like I said, over by on this bed, they will definitely be getting a lot more sun. So I feel like we could use them. Again, they don't have the wet site tolerance. These are more of a drought tolerant plant, but I could always plant them high. And like I said, the dry creek bed is dry most of the time. So those are my ideas for that area. See if I can come up with some more ideas. You always need to have more than one or two plans because things change all the time. Something else I could do is the Ilex shamrock. This is an inkberry holly which does great in wet locations. I have these at the bottom of the driveway or the side of the driveway, that dry creek bed area down there, and I have some up in the top rain garden, right in the rain garden. So they do great in wet locations. They're evergreen, pretty glossy green foliage. My only issue with these is they can get a little leggy, and I don't want something that's right there to be leggy. The other ones down at the bottom of the driveway, I don't see because I don't really go down there all that often, and obviously I don't spend a heck of a lot of time in the bottom of the rain garden at the top of the property. So not 100% sure about those. Now I have found through some research another kind of ilex called, I think it's Forever Emerald, and apparently they tend to stay more tight at the bottom. They don't get quite as leggy. Um, Although, to be quite honest with you, it's called Forever Emerald, but the legginess kind of is a trait of the Ilex glabra, although apparently this one does stay a little more full to the bottom. So um, that's another option. I don't know if I just want green on green, to be quite honest with you. Fizzy Mizzy flowers, the chokeberries flower, these do not flower. I mean, they do, but they're very, very small, insignificant flowers. So, if I'm going to plant something, of course I want some flowers. Everybody wants flowers. The flowers on the Fizzy Mizzy are really pretty. Those pretty white racemes. Um, Now they flower in the spring, so this is not going to be a long bloomer, but still, it's a pretty flower. Same with the chokeberry. They have pretty white flowers in the spring as well. Also, they have the blackberries in the fall. Um, yeah, so those are pretty white flowers. I don't know. I kind of like this. Now, obviously, this is a professional website here, so who knows if that's what it's going to look like. But I do really think those are pretty. So I just have to figure out what I want to do there. Another plant that I have up in the bed where everything needs to come out of is the Decadence Dark Chocolate False Indigo, and I thought maybe I could use this in front of the Thuja Thin Man as a perennial interest. I could plant them probably where the dwarf Hamelin grasses are. Maybe I just use 3 of the dwarf Hamelin grasses and kind of let me pull my legend over again. Maybe do so instead of having the 5 or 6 grasses represented by these little stars, maybe I just do 3 of the grasses over here and then 3 of the baptisia over here, or vice versa, and then still have the shrubs in the middle. I think there's going to be a little bit of space in between the bed where the Thuja Thin Man are and the bed where the purple pillar roses of Sharon are and the bed where the flamethrower red bud is. So, I might be able to get something off to the edge here as well on either side. I don't want to crowd it out though. The baptisia definitely need full sun. They're really pretty. Um, I don't know that I would call it a brown flower, to be quite honest with you. I think it is more close to just a very dark, like purpley raspberry, but they are definitely a full sun plant, and I think I'd really like to put them someplace where I can actually enjoy them. Up in the bed where they're located at the moment, again, they're not getting enough sun, and I really can't enjoy them. I thought about putting them down at the bottom of that driveway bed, but I won't be able to see them. I thought about putting them on the berm of the top rain garden because both of those locations get full sun, but I won't see them. So
really thinking of maybe fitting them in somewhere in this bed. And I had initially also thought, because we added two little quick-fire hydrangeas this summer, or late summer, early fall, in the bed with the purple pillar roses of Sharon, that I would just extend that and have a swathe of little quick fires, do three of those. But I think they might just get a little bit too big for in front of the Thuja Thin Man, and I don't want anything that's going to again get too big and block the sun from the bottom of the arborvitae, and then the arborvitae end up thin, or even with dead branches at the bottom there. Um, you can prune our hydrangeas. I'm not sure if that's something I want to do, but just to keep everything consistent over there. These pictures really do not do the little quick fire justice. They are really a beautiful plant, especially in the fall. This was my earlier video of plants that I showed for fall interest, and this is the little quickfire hydrangea. I just wanted to get a clip of that in here so that you guys could see what I was talking about, how the pictures that you find online just don't do this plant justice. The foliage in the fall is fiery. The flowers are definitely a gorgeous mauvey pink color. And I really think that, I don't know, it's just such a beautiful hydrangea. Do I want to plant maybe three more? I don't know. Again, let me know what you think, but I just think it's an absolutely gorgeous hydrangea. Maybe I just continue the plantings of the little quickfire, but I think, I don't know, maybe the Fizzy Mizzy and the Baptisia, they bloom at a little bit of a different time, so I would get flowers kind of for probably about 8 weeks. So this is the Fizzy Mizzy blooms early to midsummer, and the Baptisia blooms late spring, early summer. So I'd probably have at least a month to 2 months of flowers. I don't know. That's something to think about too. Like I said earlier in this video, I'd really like to try to use more than just one or two plants from up in that existing bed. And I think the Decadence Dark Chocolate is such a unique color of a Baptisia. I'd like to see that somewhere closer to the house again. So anyway, those are my ideas for what I would like in this bed in front of the Thuja Thin Man. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your opinions in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye.